Hello, good morning, grade 4. So, today we will review our lessons from yesterday and then we will continue what we left off from yesterday. We'll continue the lesson that we're supposed to discuss yesterday, and we have other lessons as well. So, let's review the lesson about analyzing a narrative in terms of its characters. So, when you're analyzing a narrative, based on the characters, it helps you understand who the characters are and dig a little deeper into the details of their personality and behavior. So, here are the guide questions that will help us or help you to analyze the characters. So, first question is you have to can you tell about the personality of each character? Then, second question is, what does each character look like? How does he or she dress? So, that's talking about the appearance of the character. Next question is, where are the characters from? So, from, okay. So, next question is, what part of society does each character belong to? So, this one is asking about, is that person or is that character from what kind of society? Is it the first class, middle class, or the low class, which is rich, middle, or poor? Okay. Next question is, how does each character react to problems? Okay, so in every story there is a problem. So how does this character from character of the story react to the problem? Was he or she able to solve the problem right away, or he or she had help from another character? Okay. Next question is, how does each one interact with the other characters? So, how do they get along with the other characters in the story? And lastly is, why does a character behave that way? So, you are looking at the behavior of the character. If it's a negative character, why does he or she behave that way? Or if it's a positive character, it's the same thing. You ask the same thing. Why does this character behave that way? Next, let's review the lesson about identifying the mood and the tone in a story. So, mood, it means what you feel as you read the story. What kind of emotions are you feeling when you are reading the story? Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you worried? Are you furious or angry? Okay. And then tone is, what is the tone of the writer in the story? So the tone, you can identify the tone in the words and phrases that the writer used in the story, and it expresses that tone in story. So our lesson for today is on page 58 of your book. It's about analyzing narratives in terms of its theme. So, what is a theme? A theme is the important element of a narrative. It is the life lesson or moral lesson of a story. It is also what they call the author's message. So, what is the author trying to tell you? What will you learn from reading the story? And theme is expressed in one big idea, or in one word, or in a phrase, or a statement. So, in most stories, the author does not state the theme directly. So, when you are reading the story, you have to figure out the moral of the lesson of the story. You must think about what the characters did right or wrong, and what you can learn from the characters' experiences. Okay, but in fables, the author states the theme as part of the story. It usually can be seen at the end of the story. Okay. Example, did you know the story Cinderella? Okay, so the theme of Cinderella, or the lesson in that story, is about beauty and graciousness. Um, Being beautiful, being graceful. Okay. The next narrative is the ant and the grasshopper. It's an Aesop fable. So we know right away that it's a fable. So it means that the moral lesson was stated on the end of the story. So the ant and the grasshopper, the story is about the ant preparing for the storm, and the grasshopper wasn't preparing at all. He was just playing around. Um so in the end, the storm came, and he was all wet, and he was hungry, and he was cold. So he asked the ant for help. Okay, so the lesson for this story is saving for tomorrow. So you have to be prepared in times of disasters and in times of difficulties. Okay. So next is the fox and the crow. So the lesson for this story is to not trust flatterers. Flatterers are the ones that say something. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, um, you're too kind. You're too nice. And then in the end, they are just trying to tell you that because they want something from you. Okay, so they did that on purpose to get something from you. So those people, or those kind of people, are called the flatterers. So don't trust the flatterers. Okay, in our story, our trip to the Benawe rice terraces, what do you think is the theme of the story? It was actually mentioned in the story, right? Okay, it was mentioned on page was mentioned on the last paragraph of the story. Okay, on page 53. So it says there in the last paragraph, as we went back to the city, Father reminded us to always remember and be proud of our heritage. As Filipinos, we have not only the ingenuity, but also the will to create things that are valuable and beautiful. Okay, so the theme of the story is be proud of your heritage, or be proud of our heritage, as our be proud of our culture and our traditions, Filipino traditions. Okay. Next lesson is about identifying stress in four-syllable words. That is on page 54 of your book. So let's review stress first in syllables. Stress, it means the syllable is said longer or louder. Okay, for example, let's read the following words and find out how many syllables each word have. So the following words are magnificent, accomplishment, accessible, impossible, compatible, kilometer, environment, diameter, affordable, and assurance. Okay, so if you were counting, all these words have four syllables. Okay, some four-syllable words are stressed on the first syllable. So I have here some examples. For example, ceremony, February, secretary, comparable, marvelous, memorable, comfortable, secondary, dictionary, and laboratory. Others are stressed on the third syllable, like for example, conversation, recollection, demonstration, insulation, inconsistent, recitation, electrician, occupation, integration, and automatic. So let's do this together. The word is comparison. Is the stress correct in this word? So the word is comparison and this is the stress. The stress is on the third syllable, which is par. So is it comparison? Is the stress here, is the stress in this word correct or no? Is it yes or no? So the answer for this is yes, this is the correct stress. So the stress is on the third syllable, which is the par. So it's comparison. Okay, next. Next word is occupation. So is the stress here on the word occupation correct? Occupation. Is it yes or no? Okay, that's right. The answer is yes. It is correct. It is on the third syllable of the word. Okay. Now our same page. Okay, so our next lesson is about using antonyms as context clues, which can be found on page 57 of your book. So let's review. Okay, I'm sorry, this is wrong. So let's review the context clues. We discussed it before. So context clues, it means the words that lead you to the meaning of the unfamiliar word. These surrounding words or context clues may include an antonym or antonyms that give the opposite meaning of a certain word. So the antonym can lead you to the meaning of the unfamiliar word. So the context clues that are used with using antonyms in the sentence, we have although, however, and but. So example, Filipinos' ingenuity is shown during festivities, but sometimes there is dullness in festivals when calamities happen. So in this sentence, the context clue there is the word but. Okay. So, and the but. Okay. Ingenuity is inventiveness. How did we know that? Okay. Because of the antonym here, which is dullness. Okay. And the antonym of ingenuity is dullness. Another example, during emergencies, some people get scared and inarticulate, but some remain clear enough to tell what happened. Okay, so our context clue here is the word but again. Inarticulate meaning unable to express one's ideas or feelings clearly. Okay, so how did we know that that is the meaning of the word inarticulate? Okay, because of this, the antonym, it's not clear enough. Okay, that is the antonym of this, of inarticulate. It's not clear enough. Okay, that is how we came up with this meaning. Okay, let's do this together. Although water is scarce in Ifugao because they have to wait for the rain to water their crops, rice is still abundant in the area. So, our context clue in this sentence is although. Although water is scarce in Ifugao because they have to wait for the rain to water their crops. So, in that phrase, in that statement, the antonym of abundant is there. Okay, so the antonym is scarce. So, it means it's the opposite, or the antonym, it's the opposite of the word abundant. So, next sentence is, tourists are awed at the magnificent Banawi rice terraces, even if most of the roads leading to the area are quite shabby. Okay, so our context clue here is even. Okay, so from even to the last word of the sentence, that is where we're going to find what is the antonym of magnificent, which in the sentence is shabby. Okay, so for your sit work for today, for the lesson identifying stress in 4-syllable words, you will do page 55, exercise 3, numbers 3 to 10. And then for the lesson using antonyms as context clues, you will do page 57, exercise 2, numbers 6 to 10. And take a picture of your work, attach the image file in week 3, sit work 1 to 2. For your homework, it's about the lesson analyzing narratives in terms of its theme. It's on page 58 to 59, exercise 3. So, what you're going to do is just read the short narrative and write the theme of the story in week 3, homework 1. Okay? Don't forget your schedule for your quiz number 2 about lessons 2 to 3 is today at 1 o'clock p.m. Let's meet first. Let's meet at the Reading and Art 4 classroom on Google Meet, and I'll tell you the quiz code there. For your advanced work for Reading and Art week 4, for your vocabs number 4, your story and art activity, it will be posted on Thursday. So that's the end of our class. Good luck with your independent work, and see you later at 1 o'clock. Thank you. Bye.